Hello and welcome back to the 2-Bit Game Club. My name is Liam Gallagher. I'll be your host for this Let's Play. This is the second episode of our playthrough Banjo-Kazooie for the N64, developed by Rare. So this is the third episode of the 2-Bit Game Club, and you can find us on places like Twitter and Facebook and Twitch and SoundCloud at /2-Bit Game Club with the number 2, or in the case of Twitter there's an @ sign preceding that. Also find us on iTunes and on my website at 2-Bit Game Club. That's theliamgallagher.com/2bitgameclub. So we're in the second episode of Banjo-Kazooie, and we're going to return to the game Bird and Bear. So we just played through, I guess what's really like the beginning of the exposition of what little story there is, and we cleared Mumble's Mountain, and we have these collectibles. Oh bad, the shinies. We learned some moves. We got talking about some of the value of the design of the game, like whether or not the camera controls are good, and whether or not I hate them, as well as the place of narrative in such a straightforward adventure game, and the differences between like story, narrative, and characterization, and how those things can be represented in characters, in terms of their action and their model, in terms of the Vocaloid, all these things other than writing, which is very light in this game, and is usually tutorial based. Musical notes. Yeah, so 2 1/8 notes tied together. Oh boy. We've got 2 1/8 notes tied together, so that's 100 1/8 notes in total. Even though the door says 50. It's just some music pedantry for you. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about this pass-through, this episode, is to talk a little bit about the music in the game. So hopefully, whoa, camera shutter. Some good voice acting for Grunty. So hopefully we'll get to see a bunch of cool levels with cool sound design and cool music. And so I'll have an opportunity to talk on that. A lot of these textures are not very attractive. I don't think they were attractive at the time. And I don't think they're attractive now. I don't know if there's a way around that. Bright and colorful is usually the way to go, but the wall to the right and front are kind of looking chest high. And by chest high, I mean to derogatorily refer to games like anything that came out in 2011. Like so Gears of War and whatnot. Great game though. Just not popular for its color palette. We did it, guys. We're going to Treasure Trove Cove. If we can ever find this treasure chest. Alright, so we used up 2 of our puzzle pieces to do this. We'll begin learning how to do shock pad stuff, shock jump later. So we don't have that move yet. We'll find it though. Magic cauldrons. So this is one of these situations where, oh man. Honestly, this is one of my biggest gripes with this game. It's just like how beautiful this scene is. It's pretty good, the camera control and things I'm going to complain about. But they do some interesting things with it, like how they hid that Mambo token behind a camera angle. I guess like Super Mario Land 3D or whatever for the 3DS did some really cool stuff like that. And like, I can think of like Return to Donkey Kong Country and like Rayman Legends and probably other games before it have done interesting with field of view. but this is a nice example of it. It's just sort of a cute touch. Alright, here we are. So I happen to know that the next level is down there on the left. So you're not going to get the authentic getting lost in a Banjo-Kazooie level experience. But trust me, it's for your own good health. Treasure Trove Cove. This guy. I like a lot of the enemy designs. This guy's a pretty neat looking character. I don't exactly know what he's supposed to be, other than just like foul. But he's really excited. So one of the things I find really cute about the aesthetic of this game is that the vast majority of it takes place inside. And so the skyboxes are literal skyboxes. This is the inside of a cave that's been painted blue. I find that really cute. A lot of the game is very cute. Ahoy there! A seagoing mole? Why not? So the music in this zone I really like. Harmonically, it's got a lot of action happening. A lot of really cool chromatic steps. So if you listen along, there's that backbeat. Oh man, I can dance to that. Let's go clubbing to Banjo-Kazooie. But it's really quite... There's a lot of neat harmonic moves. Go away, Super Shark. So let's just listen for a second. Six minor. I haven't done a harmonic analysis of that, but it sounds actually a lot like Coltrane changes, which would be really cute, which is keys cycling by major thirds. Also seen in stuff like the song Have You Met Miss Jones? But Coltrane made it famous, or Coltrane, the tenor saxophonist, over his tune Giant Steps, as well as many rearms, such as like Body and Soul. So maybe I'll do a harmonic analysis of that later, to see what extent contemporary composition techniques got put to use here. So yeah, there's interesting things happening in the music. So you'll recognize the theme. Has been reorchestrated with this flute and squeeze box sounding thing. So that's cute. I like that. It's a way of creating like harmony, not literal harmony, I mean, creating like synchronicity between the thematic material in the level while still providing an opportunity for variety. So when you're underwater, it's reorchestrated again. It sounds vaguely like a marimba. Sort of like a synth marimba situation. But it's the same tune. Let's see. So lots of levels have different layers, usually, dealing with height. So there's like underwater, the normal ground layer, let's call it, and then elevated, and then also like up in the air. So by my books, that's some really interesting, dynamic music design. I'm not sure how the tech is actually integrated. Sometimes it sounds like there's a crossfade, and sometimes there's a dramatic cut. Crying hippo. So we gotta help this hippo. We gotta help the hippo find his Nazi gold. The idea of Nazis being in a Rareware game, not actually that far-fetched. Oh man, swimming around with this camera angle. Because in one of their games that came after this, Conker's Bad Fur Day, there was actually teddy bears that were Nazis that were the result of genetic, right? Not that teddy bears actually genetics, but like horrible genetic-like experiments riffing off of the Nazis' horrible policy of wartime experimenting on POWs and prisoners of conscience and just like gay people and Jews and gypsies and pretty much anybody who was socially marginalized in a period of time. So it's interesting how one developer can tackle such a variety of subject matter with games that basically are suited. Yeah, I said Conker's Bad Fur Day, didn't I? Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, how one developer can overlap in game engine and like style of design, but differ so greatly in tone. Where this is like so cute it makes you vomit rainbows in the morning. Whereas in Conker's Bad Fur Day, it was like a dense, symbolistic tome of pop cultural references and gore and violence and viscera. In a lot of ways, I kind of liken Monty Python's The Meaning of Life to the story structure in Conker's Bad Fur Day. The way that there's like distinct chapters that focus on different themes. Usually they pack together like a gameplay concept with like a cultural reference and then like some narrative theme like death or birth or what have you, love. That's interesting. That's a completely different game. In this game, we have clams with eyes stealing my feathers. Gotta pay attention. We're gonna learn how to do the shock jump. Yeah, so going on in the chat, we've got Drick talking about how the idea that there might be some sort of catharsis in the developers in making Conker's Bad Fur Day. And certainly after producing 2 of these games with such a manic devotion to the like agonizingly colorful and radiant, I think would make me see the sort of the dark parts of the world a little bit more interested. And I know that one of the things that happened to Rareware as a developer is they gained a reputation for being those people who make the cutesy games where birds and bears and squirrels have tea parties and save the day with love and merriment. And while I think Banjo-Kazooie really owns the aesthetic and does some cute and fun things with it, you can understand how a developer would feel the need to stray from that. One of the things that I'm going to be doing in my pursuit of knowledge with this game is taking a little bit of visit through the remaster of this game and the other Rareware games in the Rare Remastered collection for the Xbox, I forget what number they're on, Xbox X. see how the board shaped up. I know that the issue of porting really was a thing in our talk about Deus Ex. Yeah, I played a bit of the PlayStation 2 version of Deus Ex, and it really was not very good. And one of the things that was interesting, though, it was not very good in a way that taught me a lot of things about what made Deus Ex so good. Because it was made clear how important they were to the milieu and just the experience of the gameplay. When it's not necessarily super obvious when everything is working right. So yeah, you can like test games through deletion rather than addition, right? I guess subtraction is the actual opposite operation to addition, but that's fine. I don't know scripts, and I intend to keep it that way. Part of what we're doing here is soliciting feedback. So if you've got any feedback, there's a few avenues you can do that in. One is on the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/2bitgameclub, or on Twitter @2bitgameclub. When we're live streaming, we let people know through those mediums. And then, of course, you can join in with the recording of my Let's Plays in real time. To share your thoughts. Just collecting everything. These are cool, like Mimic guys. It's interesting to see how far-reaching things like Dungeons & Dragons character concepts make it into the world. So, Deus Ex and Banjo-Kazooie hilariously follow a similar thread in popular culture in that way, and that they're both games that have been influenced by Dungeons & Dragons, right? Here with the Mimic. And of course, Deus Ex starts off with basically a character sheet where you have to make up your J.C. Denton and what's he's going to be like. Oh man, that camera. Which is interesting. Because they're unlikely bedfellows. All the clues indeed. But that's how, culture makes the rounds. Sometimes in unlikely ways. So we can't go into the water here because Snacky, the annoying shark, is going to murder me. There we go. So they did an interesting thing. In some ways, it's kind of like when you were a kid and you're playing on the playground with your friends, and the gravel or the wood chips or whatever they put on playgrounds these days is lava, sort of like a grounders type situation. Yeah, like don't go into the water because there's a shark. So it's interesting that they're sort of like disincentivizing the most reviled element of any adventure-y, jumpy around-y, platformy type game, which is usually the water levels and the ice levels. So, water temple, ice temple. Oh, that camera. I just love that camera. I'm gonna marry the camera. We met on New Year's Eve. It was magical. I was wearing black. She was wearing black. My eyes met her eyes. Her eyes stared 30 feet beyond a wall, and then she shuddered back and forth, and then kind of drooled. And then I knew it was love. Yeah, like you end up having like hallucinogenic visions. Interesting stairway design. So this is like contrasted with, say, something in Mario 64, where the slopes in Mario 64, including the stairs, just look like stairs, but aren't actually stairs. They're just slopes. They're flat ground, and Mario's speed is adjusted while going up them. Where you can tell here that they actually programmed each individual step with weird collision rules. There you go. Yeah, in a lot of ways, this game feels like a playground with foam rubber chips, you know, from discarded tires or whatever on the ground, so that kids don't hurt themselves when they fall, as though that was ever going to happen. The game is like one big swing set with rope ladder. This is sort of like something you would imagine as a 9-year-old, or a 6-year-old, or a 10-year-old, or 45, someone with imagination. Oh man, the camera. Oh, the water momentum. Banjo would make a sweet synchronized swimmer. This game is definitely filled to the brim with whimsy. Yeah, Xbox One, the X-Bone, I guess is the console that the Rareware remastered title that this game was repackaged in is called. Doing this on live stream has a lot of benefits that I didn't anticipate when I started this, and one is it's like I have a miniature research team on hand. They've been very helpful fact-checking for me. Hopefully I don't get a TPK here. I've been referring to getting game over in this game as TPK, since I think of Banjo and Kazooie as being a little D&D party of their own. But yeah, so thanks everybody on the live stream who's been helping out going through the BK archives in order to check some of these facts for me. We'll give you a shout out on the podcast too, because that's only kind. If you feel like dropping us a line on Twitter, we'll use your Twitter handle there or whatever. I don't know how much social media clout Twitch usernames have. Personally, I don't actually watch any live streaming, so it's not the kind of thing I know too much about. But if you want me to name drop that, I would gladly do so, as thanks for your helpful participation. Or if you'd like to be left anonymous, I can make that happen as well. I think that's supposed to be baritone saxophone. Everything in this game has a disgustingly cute name. Alright, let's do battle. Alright, I gotta pick his eyes out. Banjo moves. I really like the slidey stuff. I like that kind of platforming action control. Really does it for me for some reason. Yeah, Gruntilda I think is not named with a cutesy name intentionally. I think I might get TPK'd by this crab if I'm not careful, if I don't stop goofing around. 1, 2, 3, go. There you go. So one of the things that really, to me, makes this game feel super whimsical is the way that they use space. So, I mean, we're inside a treasure chest already, but inside a mountain, inside a treasure chest, we're inside a crab. Oh no, TPK. And then... Oh no, no, no! Okay, my life flashed before my eyes. And then inside the crab, inside the witch's face mountain, inside a treasure chest, we have another crab and eggs. Sure. It's just kind of cute and great. So here you can hear the theme again, but at a new tempo. Boom, boom. Sounds good. Sounds good. I think if you let Banjo and Kazooie just like hang out for a bit, they put on a little joke routine. Alright, well that's really interesting. Yeah. Kazooie is being violent towards the hero. Kazooie is being violent towards the titular Banjo. So this has been cool. It's pretty in here. Nice blue and greens. I mean, they had the choice of just making it look like a garbage shell, and they went for fantastical. And I think that was the right choice. Strong and possibly yellow sand. Yes, this is some of the awesome pillar camera work. I don't know why you want to squeeze a bear through such tight spaces so often in this game. But here we are. Oh man, make that shutter camera. Make that camera shutter. Did I get them both golds? I don't think. I think I just pieced. Yeah, Kazooie definitely seems to be the dominant partner. And I don't mean that in a sexual way at all. Honestly don't. In this relationship. He seems to be... I mean, he, she... I guess Kazooie is a she. Even in the game. She handles the finances and bookkeeping by swallowing the entirety of their inventory. But most of the good attacks are Kazooie's, as well as the ability to do stuff like fly, which I think we're about to gain. Bird brain. Some birds are smart. Lots of birds are dumb. Kazooie seems pretty smart. He seems to be able to communicate in English. Although I guess that's not a guaranteed for intelligence. There's a Jinjo up here, of course. We're almost at peak Jinjo. Nailed it. Good, some solid raps. Yeah, Gruntilda, or Grunty, has always got some good rhymes. MC Grunty. I guess her, like, nerdcore name could be MC Tilt. I mean, I've put that on record now, so I can't pretend I didn't say it. But I wish I could. So let's go for her flight. So here's a mid-air music track. We're gonna go way up. And there's just SFX. And an endless sea of blue. Oh boy. They're doing what they can. Draw distance, right? Look at the draw distance. Look at those graphics. Oh man. days. Yeah. Okay, pounding Brent's face. Right. See, Banjo is incapable of knocking down a door. Kazooie does so willingly. I think there's a shock jump thing there. I don't know what's called the shock jump. That's what it's called, though. Alrighty. We're doing pretty good on Treasure Trove Cove. Some eggies. We're eggs. Hi, we're eggs. So I've got a Jinjo there on my right that I've got to get. I've got a puzzle in the sunken castle that I need to fix a bucket to get access to. Weirdly. Where's that Jinjo? There's also the mystery of Shark Bait Island. You just go there and there's seemingly nothing in there. I haven't played this game through completion before, so it might come up naturally, but don't know. There's one hidden music note, or not music note, beamed eighth note. They're not tied, they're beamed together. There, just to be a jerk. Gonna get attacked by a shark. That's great. Oh, I see a Mumbo token. You gotta get those Chivos. What a horrible shark. Can you hurt the shark? No, he's incorporeal. He's a haunted shark. Yeah, no music at the top of the mountain. This is definitely kind of sound design, though. I mean, thinking about it honestly, this kind of stuff that I've been hired to do as a composer is everything right from just like jingles to music that sounds of a time period, right? Like something that could pass for the 30s or the 50s or the 60s or whatever. But I've ended up composing a lot of stuff that I guess traditionally people don't think of as being music, but falls underneath the job description of the composer. I mean, it's possible that you have a game that has so much ambient sound design that there's someone different hired for it. That's, I mean, completely possible with like a big AAA title. We'll have to check out the credits for this one to see if that's the case here. But, I mean, honestly, I've written stuff like that for games and for just music, and have called, see, there you go, and just call it music. So you gotta take there you go, yeah, so good. So many weird characters. I don't know what this guy is doing. I know, like, I get he's a bucket. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know what he did there. I don't know what we pay him for. Where's my mad ups? I need to be like I need to channel the airman again. In order to get these notes on top of the sandcastle. We are on a quest to save Flute Bear. I don't know if you remember the plot. The plot's not going to make an appearance again for a while. But I thought I'd keep you up to date. Let me at him. Let me at him. I should probably get more health. Oh, the clock's already ticking. How do you spell banjo? Or is the clock already ticking? I think I have to hit the first letter, and then it ticks. B-A... that's a Z. N... G-O... Banjo. the famous painter, Banjo. That's amazing how little I'm paying attention. Banjo-Kazooie. I wonder how you spell it. If only there was some way to look it up. So 3 O's, right? And now we fight to the death. Yeah, Latin J. Banyo. Soft J, right? We got him. Flute bear, I miss you. I'm a bear, and you're my sister. I play the banjo. My name's Banjo. You play the flute. So it follows your name is Flute. That seems pretty clear to me. Like, it's not much of a stretch. The bird plays kazoo, and its name's Kazoo. Like, there's a life over there. I know you can see it because of the crystal clear render distance in this 3D engine. But you can see it. We can all see it. So, if you're listening to this after the live stream, we're still doing Deus Ex, so don't forget about that. It's a cool game. You can check out Brooks' Let's Plays of Deus Ex on our YouTube channel. The YouTube link is like youtube.com/unpronounceable arcane gibberish. So just search for 2-Bit Game Club in the window. Is this the thing I want, or is this a greed trap? This is the thing I want. Get out of here, you stupid shark. Oh man, we got Chivo. Holy Chivos, Batman. So yeah, Brooke played Deus Ex on the PC because I don't have a PC. I've got a lot of tech gear in order to get this situation happening with the N64 being live streamed and recorded audio and video independent of the actual serving of the live stream. To keep video quality and audio quality up for the home viewer. I might do a write-up of that at some time if people are interested in it. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments or whatnot. Alright, so we gotta fly around. I remember that about this level. Loving that theme. If I had more time on my hands, I would do like melodic and harmonic analysis of all themes. I guess also like formal analysis in order to talk to you really meaningfully about the composition. But I don't know if that would be super helpful for the average listener. If you're interested in hearing me do a formal like music theory analysis of this kind of stuff, I can provide that service. Maybe for my own interest, because as of now, because I don't know that anybody else cares. But if you do care, let me know and I'll do it. Because as it is, I'm not like doing any big arrangements of the tunes of Banjo-Kazooie. It's cool to do like the whole video game music cover band thing. I don't know that there's too many memorable hits from this game that the crowds demand. So, yeah, if you got some favorite music or a memorable moment from the game, lots of little dexterity challenges in this game. Iterating on the gameplay interestingly with new challenges. So the main series podcast is a wrap-up at the end of the month. So in the two game bit club, on the club bit game 2, on butt club 2 games, on games to butts, on the 2-bit game club, we pick a game once a month and then we play through it with the audience. Or if you don't want to play through it, you can watch these Let's Plays or watch the live stream or watch somebody else's Let's Play, or don't even bother with that and just hear us talk about it. It's completely fine. How many are we supposed to be this? 18? How many in this level? I think this game doesn't kick you out when you've gotten all the puzzle pieces, if I recall correctly. 2-butt game club. So then at the end of the month, me and Brooke Jensen, who is a game developer and a coder and a writer based out of Vancouver, Canada, Seattle North, as they call it. Dumb Americans. I don't mean that. And then we talk about our experiences with the game and what we thought about it being its highlights and what we thought its down points were, what we can learn from it as people who are interested in making video games ourselves, as well as what we think that the influence of the game it was on the history of video gaming and what kinds of things that we would like to take away from the game. And that podcast comes out on the 1st of every month. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to that on YouTube. And there we talk more in depth and less scatterbrained about it. Because at that point we've both played the game and did some research and put together our thoughts. And it's a pretty cohesive dialogue. We get better at it every time we do it. Also, I host a live discussion. I moderate it in Toronto at a venue called Electric Perfume on the Danforth, if you're in Toronto, Ontario. So that's an opportunity to participate in the Let's Game Club 2-bit in person if you're in Toronto, Ontario. And there I give a presentation, sort of like a PowerPoint-y thing that's not horrible. We've all seen horrible PowerPoint presentations, and I've studied them closely to not emulate their failures. So that is an opportunity to talk about those sorts of things, like the music and like harmonic analysis or whatnot, in depth. But I still think even in like that kind of in-depth dialogue about the game, there might not be a ton of interest to hear me talk about like 2 6 chords and subdominant function, and a lot motivic development and thematic material. But if there does develop a very strong, musically oriented following to this game, I'm more than willing to do that. Music is my background. I'm a composer and a bass player. I have a degree from a prestigious Canadian secondary institution that certifies that I'm able to wiggle my fingers and make noises in the right order. So I don't not know what I'm talking about. Certainly I have an opinion as much as anybody else, and just getting more data points and forms of opinions is endlessly helpful in the world of video game development. There's a lot of science involved in video games, but at the end of the day, every game starts with an idea and people brainstorming in a room, making it an art. So if there's interest, I'll do that. So without any more lip gabbing, with any tongue wagging going on, we've beaten Treasure Trove Cove. So I'm going to end this edition of the podcast. Can't keep anything straight today. This edition of our 9 live Banjo and Kazooie, episode 2 of the Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie for the 2-Bit Game Club, which is our episode number 3 of the podcast. I know that's confusing, but that's our format. We're sticking to it. So, once again, you can find us all around the web at the usual places, on Twitter and Facebook and Twitch and Ustream and iTube and MeTunes and Spacebook and Face Club and Sound Farts at /2-Bit Game Club with the number 2. And you can find us on my website at theliamgallagher.com. That's theliamgallagher.com /2-Bit Game Club. So I've been your wonderful host, pecking out Brentilda's eyes. Tune in next time. Thanks so much for watching.